Welcome to the 2024 General Election Meet the Candidate Forum. My name is Lindsay Allen, and I am joined by Naomi Bouts. We will be your moderators for the 2024 Meet the Candidate series. This year's forum is sponsored by the Hagedon Media Group, Quicksilver Studios, and the Joint Public Policy Committee of the Coeur d'Alene Regional, Hayden, Post Falls, and Rathdrum Chambers of Commerce, in partnership with the Coeur d'Alene and Post Falls Press. This forum is intended to allow you, the voter, to hear from the candidates representing various Idaho State legislative and Kootenai County positions, who will share their vision and policies to help inform your vote. Candidates will be given 1 minute to introduce themselves, then asked 3 questions with 2 minutes to respond to each question. Candidates will be allowed 1 minute for their closing statements. These forums provide a unique opportunity to connect with the candidate who seek to serve our community. By meeting our candidates one-on-one in a more casual environment, we aim to better inform Kootenai County voters about each candidate's point of view. Okay, we are going to move on to State Senator candidate for District 3, Brian Seguin. Brian, we're going to give you 1 minute for a candidate introduction for our audience. Have at it.
Sounds great. So thanks for having me here. My name is Brian Seguin. I've been a resident of Idaho for roughly 30 years. I've spent 10 of those in Kootenai County. I'm married. My wife and I have been together for 22 years. We have 2 children in the Coeur d'Alene School District. I'm a professional librarian. I've worked in academia for 25 years and actually started at North Idaho College when I was as a student employee when I got my associate's degree there. So that's kind of a little bit about me. Did you also ask why I'm running for office?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think why I think I'm the best candidate, I think in 2021, the KCRCC issued a resolution supporting the John Birch Society, which even in the 1950s, fairly radical conservatism. And they have a longstanding dislike of New Deal programs and protections, including public education and pushing conspiratorial issues. So I think I want to represent Kootenai County and all of the people, rather than a small subset.
Thank you. Okay, our first question, and we're going to give you 2 minutes
Sure.
to answer this question. What are the top legislative priorities for District 3, and how would you work to achieve them?
So in my opinion, and I put this in the voter guide, I do think that in District 3 we have a mix of Dalton Gardens, which is, larger property, is more rural. You have some Hayden in there, which is mixed with single families, large families, as well as singles and starters. So as I mentioned with that, I think what's really important, and I think the city is doing a great job of it, but coordinating on the state level and the local level with providing more housing opportunities for single starters, entry-level homes, condominiums, things where people can get a foothold in the market and build themselves up and build some equity for long-term investment. And I think to kind of achieve what we think of as the American dream is owning some property and a home. So that's pretty vital and important to me. I did live in California, really saw the failures of some of the overregulation and not supporting labor forces and markets in the area. So if you're looking at demographics in Kootenai County in the last census data collection, the demographic of 65 and older had increased like 85%. So a lot of those folks are homeowners, want to downsize. Kiki Miller had a great article this weekend about that. And so just providing different opportunities for different constituent groups. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, second question here. Legislators often receive input from advocacy groups and organizations, as well as their constituents. How will you balance these perspectives when supporting or opposing legislation? And what steps will you take to ensure transparency for your constituents?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think it's one that's really affecting not just our county, but the whole state. I've been registered as a Republican. I've been registered as a Democrat, as an independent. To me, what's most important is a person's values. If they have integrity, their words and actions, rather than just being affiliated with a certain party. I have seen firsthand the effects working at North Idaho College of the influence of outside monies in third-party special interest group, and I'm talking specifically about the IFF. So they have great influence, and when you create a grading system for legislators and you provide incentives for them through scoring, they're going to stop working for the entire constituent group, and they're going to start trying to work for that group. So my perspective is in creating transparency is just being open with voters and talking about the real issues and that are affecting them day to day, which I think is cost of living and affordability, and not leaning into culture war nonsense. We have educators in town who have been demonized and stigmatized. I've seen that firsthand. I don't think anybody really understands the issues at North Idaho College unless you worked there over that 4-year period. And I had people coming into my office just crying. I left NIC in 2023 with a undiagnosed ulcer. So these issues are real and they're affecting everyone in town. And we really owe it to our community to, I think, have that transparency. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, here's our last question. If Proposition 1 passes, will you support it or will you vote to repeal it? You have 2 minutes.
That's an easy one. I would vote to support it. I'm a supporter of it. I actually was at the county fair talking to folks about it. Do I think it's a perfect system? I don't. But it's the system that we're left with because of outside influences. So it's a nice bridge from the last question. And I've actually heard legislators go on record in conversations saying that specifically Senator Brian Lenny and Brian Allman from the Gem State Chronicle have said that they will see if there is political will to overturn that. And if there's not, they will use political or lawfare means. So they will push against it at every turn, but know that their first choice is going to try to get other legislators to overturn it.
Thank you. Okay, now it is time for closing statements, so I'm going to give you 1 minute to
Sure.
address our audience and make some closing remarks.
Thank you. So I'd really never had any intention to run for office. I think it wasn't until I had Heather Scott, who represents District 2, tweet that normalizing sex with children starts in the library. So being a library professional and hearing that, I asked her for clarification on that. Is this really what you mean? She did not respond to me, so I emailed multiple legislators from District 1, 2, and 3. I emailed Brent Regan and asked for clarity around that. So if our area legislators feel like it's okay to just drag local city and state workers without repercussions, then I'm here to step up and say that I will represent everyone. Traditional conservatives, independents, libertarians, and Democrats. So,
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
On behalf of the Joint Public Policy Committees representing the Coeur d'Alene Regional, Hayden, and Post Falls and Rathdrum Chambers of Commerce, in partnership with the Hagenon Media Group and Coeur d'Alene Post Falls Press, Lindsay and I thank all candidates for participating. I would also like to thank the production team members at the Quicksilver Studios, the Higadon Media Group, and the Coeur d'Alene Press. And of course, thank you to those who have taken the time to learn more about each of the candidates featured in this year's Meet the Candidate series. This series has made it possible to hear from 23 Kootenai County local race candidates. We sincerely thank candidates who took the time to discuss what is important to voters in Kootenai County. We hope this town hall forum has helped inform those still uncertain about whom they will cast a final ballot for in the coming weeks. Please remember to vote. It's one of the most significant rights and responsibilities as Americans. The fundamental message this year is cast informed votes. Thank you.